Good morning, Calvary. It's my pleasure to be here today with you. And today we are actually doing a special interview section with our focus on Breast Cancer Awareness Month with a wonderful, close family friend who is more family than friend. My grandmother claimed her as her granddaughter next door. And so we were raised together like siblings. Unfortunately, at a very young age, she also came down with breast cancer. A really difficult time in all of our lives that was hard to go through, but focused mainly on God's blessings and prayers to get her through it. So, since this is such a special month where we focus on making sure that everyone, all women, you get your mammograms because it's really, really important. Age does not matter. If you, especially if you have a family history of cancer in your background, you need to make sure that you make it a priority to make that happen. So, I want to introduce to some and present to others who may already know her, Mrs. Christine, we call her Renee Harvey Johnson. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So glad to have you here today. I know that you're a survivor, and we're really, really excited that you have just celebrated how many years?
5 years,
Woo!
September
God
2nd.
be the glory. That's
Yes.
amazing. So, why don't you tell us about your initial diagnosis? What happened? How'd you do it? We know you were young, you know, earlier than most age when people come down with this terrible disease. Tell me how that happened for you.
Well, I have been having issues over a period of about 8 years once I was diagnosed. Um, I had some just different issues that would go on when I would get my mammograms. They would always come back abnormal. But I had a very good doctor who we stayed on it. There was never any um, breast cancer that was associated with any of the prior um, mammograms. However, I they were always abnormal, and I have to repeat, and then I'd be cleared for 6 month period only. So once I was diagnosed, it was in 2015 at the age of 46 is when I actually was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, which is breast cancer that's not as aggressive as some of the other breast cancers out there, but I did have a big challenge with my treatment plan.
And tell us about after you got your diagnosis, your medical journey. Because I know you said that it wasn't as aggressive as some others, but even with non aggressive, you had some major challenges that came about as a result of your surgeries. Talk to us about that.
Correct. So my diagnosis initially again was invasive ductal carcinoma. And that's a breast cancer that is a breast cancer where it involves the milk ducts. And what I elected to do, because I had had so many different mammograms that were always inconclusive, they never came back 100% that everything was okay on the first one. I had numerous biopsies. So what I elected to do, it was pretty um, big decision, but I felt it was the best decision. Was I elected to have a double mastectomy. I wanted to hopefully take a more proactive role and hopefully prevent it from making a return at a later time. It was a very invasive surgery. And through that, I had four surgeries within a 4 month period. Um, and I had numerous infections. We'd have to start over, take everything out.
Bless your heart. I know that was some really, really, really challenging time. And we know that part of your decision was based on the fact that both of your parents passed away from cancer, correct?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
how did your faith help you through all of this?
My faith was very strong because I knew that through challenges I had been through in my life, that God never forsake me, never put more on me than I could handle, and I felt in my heart I was chosen for this. So my faith was that I'm gonna get through it. It's a little difficult now, but I remained positive. I surrounded myself around positive people. I didn't listen to anything negative, and I just knew that I was going to get through. God was going to just pull me right through it, and that's what happened.
He brought you through and made you even better.
Yes, I agree. I agree, and I definitely had a fabulous, the best support system that I could possibly have. I had Pastor Mosette and Mrs. First Lady Mosette. They were my team. They were there praying for me. I had the entire Mosette family there for me. I had my work family. My house stayed pretty busy. They were here all the time. My husband was a major. He really was able to pull through a lot of times when I just couldn't. I couldn't do it anymore. I would just be tired, exhausted. But he would pull through for me, and I just had numerous, just different types of um, support systems that were there for me. And that really did help a lot. When you have positive people and you have people in your corner praying for you all the time, you can't do anything but really regain your strength and think positive, stay positive, and remain that way. And that's what really got me through. And you have to have faith. Once you lose that, it becomes a challenge, I believe. So
I agree with you.
that,
And we are really
yeah.
grateful for Larry Johnson, retired officer Larry Johnson from LAPD, who Renee now calls the retired guy. So we're
Correct.
really
Correct.
grateful for him in your life. And you guys just celebrated 25 years, correct?
25. Yes.
Well, we're really thankful for you coming and sharing your story today. It is a powerful message for others. It is a way to show God's grace, His mercy, His power, His strength, and give other people the determination, number one, to get tested, and number two, that they too can make it through. Well, thank you so much, Renee. We're so grateful that you took the time to share with us today. And anyone who's watching this, tell a friend, share with a friend, and make sure that you get tested as soon as reasonably possible. God bless you all.